Hey, it's Jordan with the Young Turks and TYT Politics. I am here at Camp Promise in Flint, Michigan. We've been here all day. This is a water protectors camp. It's a resistance camp to the inhumane poisoning that's happened to the citizens here. And they are here to tell the government they're no longer going to sit idly by without results. They want the pipes changed in this city, not in 3 years, in 1 year. They want an independent investigation into what happened here, who knew what, when, and why certain decisions were even made in the first place. They want universal health care for the residents affected here. That would be Medicare for all for the rest of their life. There's many specific demands, and we've done videos here earlier in the day where they express those demands. I'm here with Bruce Stiers. You been a resident here most of your life. You also have worked with your hands all your life, construction and things like that. And you have been pointing out to me that this lead issue, the contamination issue, is not in the rearview mirror. It's still happening in real time. You have examples here. Grab what you want to show the audience here. And I also want to hear kind of your background as a worker here, so people know kind of your expertise on the issue. So, how long have you lived here, and what have you done for work?
I've moved here to Flint in 1974. I joined the construction trades union movement in 1976. I've worked on the tunnels underneath the city, putting in the sewer lines. I've worked on the Beecher water treatment plant. I built several of the concrete confinements in the Montrose water sewage treatment system, the Linwood city area. So I've had extensive background in environmental issues relative to an opportunity was presented to me to work in an environmental laboratory here in Flint, Michigan in 1993, when the Russians came in from the sister city of Telegati. They were looking for purification, filtration systems, which we at our laboratory were developing in the city of Flint at that time. And so it gave me a really insightful view. And then when we discovered lead in the water fountains in 1993 and reported it, the chemistry in the water, Mr. Bob Stewart, a registered federal chemist in the United States of America, blessing that he was here in Flint, he announced the lead in the water in connection to the low SAT scores and the high levels of violence as a result of lead poisoning. Well, they took the water coolers out, but they didn't take out the lead pipes or any of that. So
This was in '93.
they were more concerned with lead paint and lead abatement in review of that. And so now we come up and we pull to this date here. I've got 33 years background working in various environments, including Chicago International Airport, installation of a $2.5 million wastewater treatment system for Sky Chef kitchens. So I've got a little bit of knowledge in hands-on treatment of water systems and purification, what's putrid and what's not. And so I took this on as a pledge to the 7,000 babies when I heard that 7,000 babies were born permanently brain damaged in the early hospital, in the hospitals in the area. I bawled my eyes out, I prayed to the Lord, and I said, I'm going to do something. So I took the pledge that I was going to be the voice. And so for 3 years, I've been trying to raise the awareness to the water heaters as being a serious issue, like a revolving gun that would go off unexpectedly. And it has bullets that can kill people. And that's the contaminants that we're looking at in this pipe here. And the pipe that I'm showing you here, this pipe here, it was connected to, that pipe there is connected to a water basin in a bathroom. And we teach our children to brush their teeth and to be healthy, and we don't expect them to be fearful of the water, to ask us, well, if the water is safe, Mama or Dad. You know, we don't do that. And so Flint is inundated with this problem because the river switch in the raw river water without corrosive practices created a slurry of sludge that washed off all of the 500 miles that were underneath the city and pushed it into people's homes. It is still laying there, harboring in people's homes and in the water heaters. Now, taking the basic science, if I can.
When did you take this? Just so people know when this is from.
About 2 weeks ago, and that was within about 5,000 feet of Hurley Hospital.
So the city, which is saying if you use your water with a filter, it's fine. The lead levels are improving. All of this stuff. He pulled this 2 weeks ago. If you look in there, I doubt you think that's fine. This is where the water is passing, folks.
Now, if I can show the other pictures that I have here. This is the inside of the wall of where this pipe was removed. You can see the impaction of the sediment in the knuckles. And the impact here is 2 inches deep. That's probably similar. That's one water line of several water lines. This is the hot water side.
So when you're talking about sediments, to explain that to the audience, what kind of sediments are you talking about?
This here is a water heater that would have well water. Without any water softeners, the minerals would collect over a period of 15 or 16 years, which is the life expectancy of a water heater, and they fill the water heater as this illustration presents. This here is a heating element without any of the residue. If you will imagine this calcified in the bottom of the water heaters, then you'll have a bacterial issue that is like Russian roulette. And when it comes to the Legionella and the bacterias that are being released, as far as when the first warning came out was boil your water. Bad news, bad science. It only coagulated the lead and the metals, and people were getting absolute poisoned by that warning. So this is a direct result of the river flow without corrosion control practices being employed. And as the chemistry of the water is allowable, the chemistry of the water was not followed. And the city of Flint then took the basis to push this water for 14 months continuously. And this is the end byproduct. And we're talking about 20 to 30,000 homes that have been impacted in the impact zone of 100,000 people's lives that have been poisoned.
So when they've said we've recoated the pipes to add more corrosives and the lead is improving, that's obviously not really focusing on the sediment and the bacteria.
Correct. You're absolutely correct. And when the issue comes up to it, the lead particles that are in the sediment are being discharged into the filters that are being issued to the people, and the filters that are then coagulating, and I use that word extensively because that's what's happening. The hot water, as you stated before, once you run hot water through these filters, they're dead. They're done. And the people are not on a maintenance schedule that is reliable. And so the water source that's coming through their taps is coming through what I'm presenting to you. And so we're trying to bring awareness to the problems of this being a major health hazard and peril of safety to the public. And so in doing so, if they continue us to force to drink water through these contaminated conditions, then to me that's culpability to criminality. And that's where the rubber meets the road here, because certain people got arrested for speaking the truth. And sometimes the truth comes out in various ways. And I don't condemn anybody for their actions, because the city itself is in a serious situation, and they're not going at this problem from an issue where the people are feeling any relief. And this program right here of eliminating and remediating this right here will bring $20 to $30 million in revenue for savings immediately I'm thinking in the emergency rooms with kidney dialysis and liver, and over the next 30 years, the possibility of $300 to $400 million by taking on the remediation. Now we're talking about $21 million to get it done.
Now, when you say the program, what kind of program would you like to see?
This right here, it's a remediation grants program. The grant program would allow the homeowner I'm proposing up to $7,500 for the replacement of contaminated pipes and the replacement of their water heaters. I've talked and spoke to the local union representatives who are more than capable and able of doing replacements and have been working on it.
Well, the plumbers union.
Yes, and Habitat for Humanity has provided, I understand, some relief to 20 or 30 people, but we need 20,000 people to be taken care of. And so,
Isn't it also not just the service line pipes, but the home pipes? Because you could change the service lines, but if the home pipes have been damaged too.
if you're changing the galvanized lines on the outside of the house and you're not doing anything for the galvanized pipes on the inside of the house, you're only exasperating the problem and asking for a continued extended suffrage. And so this is why I'm not the expert of all of this, but I am a knowledgeable man, and I know that I don't want my grandchildren or their children or anybody's children to have to suffer to drink from water under these contaminated conditions. And so we're asking, please, that if you are seeing this, that you might give your compassion to the fact that your granddaughter or your grandchild may be drinking from substances that are harmful to them, that 30 years from the road where they're at now might lay them in a hospital bed. And you can help to prevent that by bringing your voice to what we're trying to do here. And I don't think that that's too much to ask in America of this day from Americans, because we're all Americans. And I feel strongly, people talk about Flint like it's some kind of gutter. We're all Americans. If you're in the gutter or if you're at the top of the pinnacle, I don't care. You're all Americans. We need to be treated with equal dignity and equal respect for the law and to be protected. And we are not to be ridiculed for speaking up for the protection of a right that has been with us in this country for over 200 years.